I know it's been a while since our last video, but today we're going to make something exciting that we've never made before because we're tired of eating the same foods. I know you all are probably tired of eating the same foods too. So we sat around this week and came up with a bunch of crazy shit to cook, and tonight we're making one of those things. And I hate being on camera because I'm fat, and Eric's making me do this. So I just want I just want to mention that. I know my fat's probably protruding out of my dress, but I hate on camera. Where am I starting from?
Good.
Hey everybody, I know it's been a while since our last video, but we wanted to start getting back into cooking with you guys, and today we're making something exciting, and we want to give you some ways to spice up your spaghetti. The spaghetti is a commonly cooked food in most households, and it can be boring after a while, so we got to thinking on ways we could spice up our spaghetti, and we want to share with you what we're doing tonight for dinner. So the first thing we have is I'm cooking some meat right now in my skillet. I have a pound of 80-20 ground meat and then half a pound of sweet sausage, and we're just going to cook this until it's brown, and it's going to go into our sauce. Normally we would make meatballs or something with our spaghetti, but tonight we're making spaghetti tacos, but they're not really tacos. They're going to be like spaghetti garlic bread boats, and I was worried about the meatballs fitting, so we're just going to make a nice sauce with the ground meat and sausage. So while our meat cooks, we're going to go over some of the ingredients that we're going to use to make our own sauce. We've gotten out of using jarred sauce. They have so many preservatives and sugar and stuff in them that are bad for you. And making your own sauce is super easy, and it's only a few ingredients. So this is what we have. We use whole tomatoes. We were told that the San Marzano style tomatoes are the best to use for spaghetti. So we always use those. About 2 or 3 cans depending on how many people are going to eat dinner with us. We use fresh garlic, fresh parsley, a whole diced onion, and then we have our dry seasonings, which are going to be some more parsley flakes, some basil, rosemary, Italian seasoning, and then of course your salt and pepper.
And there's oregano somewhere around here.
And some oregano, and we do put a couple other little things in there, like some a little bit of sugar, and we taste it as we go, and if it needs something else, we'll throw that in there too. And the longer it cooks with the flavors of the meat and the onion and the garlic, it gets a really, really good flavor. So that's going to be the base for our sauce. For our boats, we bought 2 nice French loaves fresh from the bakery. So of course, if you're handy, you can make your own French bread. But we're going to cut these loaves open. And then I have some garlic spread. You can make your own garlic spread, but I had to work today, so I'm short on time. So we're going to cut the bread open, smother it with the garlic spread, put it in the oven for a few minutes just to get that bread warm and toasty. Come on, dogs.
If you guys are curious what all that crazy noise is, it's these 2 knuckleheads right here. They just decide anytime anybody wants to play in the kitchen that they get to come out here and play too. Just being annoying. Look at that. Do you see that abuse? Anyhow.
Anyway, so we're going to make these French loaves. We're not going to cut them into complete halves like garlic bread. We're going to keep them like a sandwich. Put the garlic spread on them, bake them in the oven until they're not crisp, but they're cooked. And we'll take them out. We're going to load them up with our spaghetti and meat sauce, cover them with cheese, put them back in the oven, and bake them until they're nice and golden brown and the cheese is melted. And then we're going to serve them up kind of like a sandwich. So that's our plan for dinner tonight. Eric, anything you want to say about that?
No, that sounds pretty legit as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to have to pause this video though so I can get the pot out and everything.
Yeah, we need to get our parsley cut up and our onion and get some of that into this ground meat so we can get our sauce going. So we're going to pause the video for a second And once we have those things cut up, we'll be right back to show you the sauce.
You get all the parsley and onions cut up.
Okay, everybody, now that we have our onions cut and our parsley cut, we did cook our onions in a saute skillet with a little bit of oil and added it to the mixed, the cooked meat, just because we're not cooking our sauce for, like 8 hours like some people do. I didn't want hard onions in the sauce, so I just go ahead and cook them. So that's what we have already right now. We have our meat and our onions cooked, and we're going to start making the sauce. Just for FYI, I have washed my hands. I don't like to wear gloves when I cook. I just use my hair. I don't use my hair. I use my hands.
I hope you don't use your hair.
I meant to say hands. So, you're dumping all the sauce in, and then I just break up the tomatoes with my hands. Try to get them into small pieces if you can. Oh.
Look at that messy.
I know you can buy these like already done.
Look at that, see? And that's why I put everything in the pot.
Shut up. What, like that?
Mm-hmm.
What's it make a difference?
I don't know.
It's still gonna squirt out. You can buy them diced or already done or whatever, and we've tried that before, but they just taste better when they're like this.
It does. I don't know. I think it has a better taste.
So we're doing 3 cans of these because we have a couple people coming over for dinner tonight, and we want to make sure we have enough sauce. The sauce can come out kind of thin, so the more tomatoes you add to it, the better.
I would say if you're still feeding a family of 4, 2 cans would be suffice. Because I mean, you have a nice basil leaf that comes in with some of these. And
yeah, some of them come with a nice basil. We do use basil anyway, but the tomatoes were soaking in the basil, which is going to give it a better flavor.
Mmm. Some people probably get grossed out because you're using your hands.
Well,
That's what people are like, that's what gloves are for! I'm a
you
glove
don't need
person.
to wear gloves if you wash your hands.
My mom would probably kick my ass for wearing gloves, to be honest with you.
You don't need to wear gloves if you wash your hands. I mix my meats without gloves. I mean, you can feel it better. I don't know how to explain it.
Alright.
So let's see, we got a nice bit of sauce. And this is the base for most of the sauce, and then we'll just season it to taste. You can add your whatever seasonings you want. We add the seasonings that we've been using. We've changed them a couple times as we've gone along. It's just what your taste buds are. You can make this however you want to make it. The meat and the onions and the tomatoes are just the base. You can add peppers, you can add mushrooms, you can put in zucchinis, whatever vegetables you want. I love zucchini and mushrooms and pasta. Eric doesn't.
Nope. That's a big no for me.
So I think I've gotten all the big pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands and then start adding the other seasonings.
While you do that, I guess I can come over here. Look at that. Got the chopped parsley. I was going to do that, but then I realized I was holding this camera, and I didn't want to set that down and whatnot. As far as the sugar, a lot of people don't add sugar to their pasta. We add sugar because we like our sauce just a little sweet. Sometimes it does get sweeter than others, but if it, you taste to your liking, and if it does get too sweet, that's what salt's for. Salt will counteract it. So I'm just waiting on Miss Tiffany here.
Well, make sure I clean my hands. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is add some garlic. You can use fresh garlic if you want, or you can use minced garlic or garlic paste. I use 2 nice spoonfuls.
That's a lot of garlic.
And then you can always taste it. Once it disperses through, it's really not as much as it
No,
looks.
it's not.
We usually come back on the after it's cooked for about an hour and taste it, and if it needs a little bit more, we add a little bit more. You know, garlic powder, garlic, onion, salt, whatever. I like my fresh herbs. Can't always keep fresh herbs in the house, so I get these freeze-dried herbs. They taste exactly the same.
Pretty sure the freeze-dried herbs are winning right now.
They are. I didn't realize it wasn't open. So, we're going to put some basil in
Some
there.
basil. The oregano is hiding in the corner over
I'll
there.
get
I
it.
can see it.
A little tiny bit of rosemary. Eric doesn't like
That's about a good
rosemary
enough.
to
Ah, that's too
overpower
much.
it. Oh, be quiet. Your standard Italian seasoning. Gonna get a good bit of that in there. We do have a lot of sauce. Red pepper flakes. Oregano. We use mostly your standard Italian seasonings.
Not too much oregano because you don't want it to taste like pizza sauce.
1 shake of red pepper. And then I always add some extra freeze-dried parsley in. The parsley that we used earlier was only half of a parsley. We usually use a whole parsley.
Yeah, which she's yet to add that in.
I'll get to it. Fresh parsley.
Mmm.
The more herbs you use that are fresh, the better.
Oh, no, most definitely.
But since we don't use a lot of fresh herbs in our other cooking, we don't use a lot of stuff that takes basil or some of the other herbs, so
It
it's
might
easier to
help
keep.
if you guys paid attention and Tiffany didn't turn the pot on.
Well, I was still mixing everything together. Well, it didn't need to be on. So this is a really good sauce base for any pasta, really. Rigatonis or spaghetti, or if you're making manicottis or anything that you're making.
How much sugar are you about to add into this?
I don't measure it.
So that looks like about a half a cup.
Maybe about half a cup. And so we taste it in a little while and see if it needs anything else. If it needs some more garlic, or if it needs some more sugar, or some anything. We still gotta put some black pepper in there.
I would probably get the black pepper. That's easier. And the salt. Tiffany's worst enemy. If it was up to Tiffany, she would not use salt
I
at all.
don't like salt. Salt is really, really bad for you. It's bad for your heart, it's bad for your blood pressure, it's bad for retaining fluid. It's just bad.
See all that pepper she put in there?
That wasn't a lot of pepper.
Man.
Do you see how big this pot of sauce is?
Yeah, I know.
That was probably only 2 tablespoons of pepper. And you can see this isn't a really thick sauce, so you can always add like your flour or cornstarch or something, like if you want to thicken it up some and have a thicker sauce. But because these are all fresh ingredients, it is a thinner base. So that's the sauce. We're going to let this cook probably for an hour. We'll come back and taste it and see how it's going. If it needs anything, we'll add some more stuff to it. We are planning on having dinner around 6:30ish.
Yeah, it's 4:30 now.
So that gives us a little bit, at least 2 hours to let this simmer and cook. Once the sauce is ready to go and it's time to start the noodles and the breads, we'll come back. We'll probably check back in with you guys when we taste it in an hour and let you know the progress, what we need to add and how it tastes. So we'll see you in about an hour. Okay guys, so it's been a little bit over an hour. We're going to come back and check on the progress of our sauce, see how it tastes, see if it needs anything extra, and we'll go from there. I had a spoon of sauce cooling off. And pretty good. You gotta remember that you're gonna put your own salt and pepper and cheese and stuff on at the table, so you don't want to over season it.
Too bad you can't send smell or taste the grams.
Taste vision. Ooh, ooh. Yeah. No, so I think we're good on the sauce. I don't think we need to tweak anything. I did turn it down to low so that it will simmer still. while we make our noodles and we get our bread and everything together. So still probably about an hour until we actually sit down to eat. But we won't want to start the bread until like right at the very end. I mean, we don't get the bread ready too soon. So I guess we'll be back when it's time to make the bread. Okay guys, back to what's cooking and how to spice up your spaghetti. So we're getting towards the end of this. We have boiled our noodles and we mix it with our homemade sauce. Look how good that looks. That looks like restaurant quality spaghetti. So this was 1 pound of noodles and then all the sauce that we made earlier. What we're going to do next is we have our 2 loaves of French bread. I'm going to cut them in half and then cut the halves in half and then base it with this garlic spread, put them in the oven for a couple minutes. Try to make it a little bit cooked, but we don't want to cook it all the way and make it too crispy. So we're just going to cook it for a few minutes. Take it out, stuff it with spaghetti, cover it with cheese, and put it back in the oven. And it sounds so good. So we're going to get right to that. So we're just going to, I'm just guesstimating here about where I think half is going to be. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna do that with both of these loaves. Oh, this is a bad loaf. Look, it has a hole in it.
That's all right.
It's like a telescope.
It's a telescope.
Yeah. We can just stuff spaghetti down that hole.
I mean, in theory, you can hollow the whole thing out and shove spaghetti in there and cook it like that.
Okay. I'm really bad at cutting bread, so we're gonna try not to ruin this.
So yeah, let's not ruin it.
Just want to cut it.
Don't go
just
too
a little
deep.
bit. That's what she said.
I don't think she ever said don't go too deep.
I think so.
That looks good.
Okay.
I would go just stay back just a little bit more than that.
Well, we have to be able to open it a little bit.
You're good. Just leave it alone.
Oh my gosh. We just put the garlic spread in there.
Your garlic spread.
All right. So we've never done this before.
Oh no, we have no idea what we're doing. This is just a thought on a random Monday as we're planning meals.
All right, so this looks like it's going to be pretty good.
Oh yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, we're going to base that with the garlic butter and then toasty it up onto the other ones. I've always wanted to have spaghetti tacos.
I just think the idea of spaghetti going on a tortilla shell just does not sound like it would be good.
Yeah, this one with the hole in it. Crap.
Oh crap. Going on.
Anyway, yeah, I've always wanted to do spaghetti tacos, and Eric's always like, no. I think the spaghetti would taste really good in one of those nacho taco shells. Heat up in the oven. I think that would be really good. But he was not willing to try that, so we compromised on the garlic bread boat idea.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you feel we should make spaghetti tacos with nacho taco shells, leave a comment below and let us know. And if we get 10 likes and at least 5 comments on this video, we'll do it. That's the only way you're getting that, because that sounds gross.
It
So
doesn't sound bad.
you better hope
really
you better
good.
hope you get 10 likes on this video on the YouTubes.
Man, I'm gonna share the shit out of it.
Man, that looks good. Just like I could probably eat that butter just out of there. So about how long do you think we should put this in the oven?
I think we're just going to watch it. I don't know how long it's going to take.
Honestly,
Garlic bread usually takes like 15 or 20 minutes.
yeah, and
So maybe like half of that.
I think you should probably let it cook for at least like 7 minutes and
Yeah,
then
we'll cook
take it
for
out.
7 to 10 minutes, take it out and check it. You at least want like the garlic butter to cook into the bread.
Yeah,
So
and we have our oven. Oh, that looks so crazy, like all blinky and whatnot. At 400 degrees.
what does it look like?
I have no idea why it looks like that.
Alright, so again, we're just putting garlic and butter in the inside of the. I don't remember where I was at.
We was talking, I don't know what the hell we were talking about. We got too many interruptions going on here. But she's putting the butter down, as you can see, on the bread, on that special piece right there.
Yeah. This piece is a little bit odd, but it'll be fine.
Man. So once we get this in there, and then I guess after a few minutes, then we'll get the
Yeah, we're gonna get this all toasted in the oven, and then we'll pull it out, stuff it with the spaghetti, cover it with cheese, put it back in, and then the moment we've all been waiting for, we're gonna eat it.
out of the trash can, dummy.
Okay, so the garlic bread is out of the oven, not too cooked, just perfect. Now we're gonna load it up with the spaghetti, some cheese, and put it in the oven. Hopefully I don't make too much of a mess doing this.
Let's move over here. I mean, this concept, I mean,
Right?
there's gonna be so much pasta left.
And that's okay if there's pasta left, because you might not get full just having a couple of bites of this, have a little thing of pasta on the side. Why did you put it right on there?
Because it wasn't done. I had to move the pan on because I got the temperature too hot. So, I probably would pack a little more pasta onto that. Truthfully.
Okay. Well, I needed to get some in there to make them stay open.
Right. Man. And we're just using an Italian blend cheese for this too.
Alright, now that we have the pasta in there, we're going to cover it with this cheese and then get it back in the oven. These look so good. I wonder if this is actually a thing anywhere.
I don't know. Brandon says she wants this whole thing to herself.
So I get $50 if I eat it all?
No.
You have to eat 2 of them. Let me finish off this bag.
It's probably enough.
Okay. So we'll put it back in the oven for about 5 minutes, let this cheese get all bubbly and melty, and then it'll be ready to go. Okay guys, so we pulled them out of the oven. They are now ready to eat. Cheese is nice and melted. The bread is crisp. Overflowing with pasta. I think they're going to be good.
So do I.
So this was just one idea on how you could spice up boring, ordinary spaghetti. We'll have to let you know how it is once we're done eating it, since we've never had it before. But that's what's cooking today.